Don't forget it. One West, I'm living, yeah. This for all my niggas, brothers and sisters, yeah. Feeling unstoppable, cause you know the Lord is with you, yeah. Breaking down scripture, that's the only motherfucking shit, yeah. UPK, don't forget it. One West, I'm living, yeah. This for all my niggas, brothers and sisters, yeah. Feeling unstoppable, cause you know the Lord is with you, yeah. Breaking down scripture, that's the only motherfucking mission, yeah. Who I be? Crime apart, never saw. Break these bitches off. Get one through your stomach, through your damn meal figure. One West, nothing but soldiers and real niggas. Let my ox get up. Kiss the motherfucking boots to play my split. If you ain't an Israelite, then I don't fuck. To pass and fly it through the bar, baby, you can take a bitch. When they see us at the mall and we breaking down shit, do it for the 12 tribe blood of an Israelite. When them devils start to die, we gon' ride, we gon' ride. Blessed by the Most High, we gon' break the sky. When them white babies grind, throw 'em off in the fire. Bury me a motherfucking priest when I die. UPK one West, you know that's the life. Fuck the other side, we don't fuck with you, kind. Cop, get the order and we gon' take ground. UPK, don't forget it. One West, I'm living, yeah. This for all my niggas, brothers and sisters, yeah. Feeling unstoppable, cause you know the Lord is with you, yeah. Breaking down scripture, that's the only motherfucking mission, yeah. UPK, don't forget it. One West, I'm living, yeah. This for all my niggas, brothers and sisters, yeah. Feeling unstoppable, cause you know the Lord is with you, yeah. Breaking down scripture, that's the only motherfucking mission, yeah.
Shalom Israel. You know what it is. It's Take Ground Radio, Take Ground Breakdowns, Matrix Sessions out of 1 West Harlem, New York. 1 West 125th Street. You understand? Under Commander Johnny Yahana. You know how we do. Relationship advice, bring your questions. We get the theme music going. Ask your questions. Relationship questions. Not only relationship between man and woman, but also relationships between, your children, your aunties, your cousins, your friends, your family. All those is we questions we answer here, and we get into uh, one of the first things that you will learn when you're coming into the truth is you'll run into a lot of people. You run into a lot of people you used to know. You understand? People who you used to kick it with and do this with and get high with, or even just kick it with and new on a cool basis. You're gonna run into a lot of those people. All right. What you gotta remember when you run into them people. Let's turn this down a little bit. What you gotta remember is when you run into these people, you wanna remember the truth. You really want to be always ready. There's a scripture to talk about this. Always ready to give an account of the joy you feel. You understand? Basically, all the great, amazing things that the Most High has done for you. You want to be able to, man, damn near at a moment's notice, be able to drop it. As far as letting the people know, always ready to be able to drop the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's just something you got to work at. You may not be perfect at it if it's not, your, immediate personality or whatnot. If you just not just some outgoing person who, quick to lead the conversations and all that, but you still want to be able to drop the truth on your people or let them be able to see the truth on you somehow. Like for you brothers who may not be
Young nigga preach, bury me a motherfucking priest. Yeah, the word we teach from the west to the south to the north to the east. Yeah, God on my eyes with me. Posted your my echo peace. Sipping the song with these soldiers we out in the streets. Young nigga preach, bury me a motherfucking priest. Yeah, the word we teach from the west to the south to the north to the east. Yeah. God on my eyes with me. Posted your my echo peace. Sipping the song with these soldiers we out in the streets. When was they bury me? No willing I be a priest. Shall I my eye on the team? Duplicate know what I mean. We get inside by police.
Shalom. There we go. We back in action. We back in action. All right. All right. What I was saying, as far as when you running into people that you know from the world, you want to drop the truth on them. All right. Got the sound back. All right. You can start bringing them questions in. Let's get that caption up. All right. Okay. But yeah, like you want to be, I mean, to be in the best shape, you want to be, you want to be ready to jump on the opportunities, man. You want to be ready to jump on opportunities as far as reaching your people. It's not an easy thing. Sometimes you recognize it. Sometimes it's hard to recognize, especially if you got the devil around. Or people. You may run into somebody at the job site. Shoot, you want to, but you can't, straight out right like you want to drop the truth on them. Let me get the scripture on it. Let me get the scripture on it. Okay. You want to always be ready. All right. And get the scripture on it. All right. And be ready. ready to drop the truth for your people, ready to give them account on what you so happy about. You know what I'm saying? What you got hope. You know what you hope in. Like you still got hope if you in the truth. People in the world may not have the same hope that you got. You got hope. People in the world don't got no hope. So you may be have a certain outlook on things. People in the world don't understand why you have a outlook on things. Why you have any type of positive outlook on anything when things are so negative. We living in hell. Okay, so let's get it. All right. You want to be able to communicate that hope that you have. Why you got hope and nobody else do? Because it is truth. But how do you communicate that though? That's what you want to say. That's what we getting at. How are you gonna communicate that? That's what it's about when you run into them, your people in the world that you cool with or that you knew. Okay, that's what you dealing. That's what you gotta wrestle with. Are you gonna be? That's what you want to season yourself up with if you're not already. You know, I know as far as myself, I'm not quick talking. Sometimes I be on having so much on my mental that I don't drop the truth like I really could have because I'm thinking about other things. So that's why it's good for me. Guys like me have flyers. I have some business cards with the school info on it to give to brothers and sisters, so they could read that and look that up and study that. That's a good thing to have. You know, got a question. Psalms 19 and 5. I couldn't find the scripture that I was thinking on earlier. Psalms 19 and 5. Which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoiceth as a strong man to run a race. You have to read up on that to really get down to the bottom of that one. All right, let's start from the top. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. The heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. The firmament is the sky and the atmospheres. There's multiple atmospheres. You understand? That's why it's the heavens and the firmament. All those things combined. That's what's up in the air. in the atmosphere. A day unto day uttereth speech. So basically the air, the atmosphere is talking. How is it talking? Because it's showing you the handiwork of the Most High. And night unto night showeth knowledge. What a lot of people don't know is King Adam read the stars to get knowledge, and that knowledge was from the Most High. So the skies at night uttered knowledge when they read the stars. All right, verse 4. Their line is gone out through all the earth. Their line, okay? And their words to the end of the world. It's still talking about the sky and everything like that. That's why verse 3 says, there is no speech nor language where the voice is not heard, where their voice is not heard. So it don't matter where you are on the earth, what language you speak, you're gonna see the sky, and it's gonna utter the knowledge of the Lord. Like, damn, the Lord must be amazing, because look how great the sky is. That's how it's talking to you and telling you. In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun. What's a tabernacle? That's a tent. That's a house. That's a structure. He set it up for the sun to sit in the sky. Verse 5. Which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber. What's a bridegroom coming out of his chamber? That's a brother coming out of the bedroom with his wife. When he's coming out of that bedroom with his wife, he's shining. He feeling good. He happy. He glowing. That's what it's talking about. Why he glowing? Because he happy. He's with his woman in the bed. So he's glowing. And rejoiceth as a strong man to run a race. Rejoices just like a brother in competition. Brother in competition, he could be loud, yelling, be happy. As a strong man running a race. That's the sun in his glory. At least that's what it's comparing to. It's comparing that to the sun. All that's being compared to the sun. That's what it's talking about. The bridegroom. It's that brother coming out that bedroom. And that's a new wife. You know what I'm saying? That bridegroom is kind of connotating towards a new wife. You know, a brother getting some new tail. You know he gonna be shining. You know he gonna be happy. You know, tail period. He gonna be shining. He gonna be happy. All right. Yeah, let's get back to it. So yeah, when you run into the people of the world, you gotta be careful who you drop the truth on. You gotta move with wisdom, because you never know. You never know. You may drop the truth a certain way on a brother or sister out in the world, and they hate it. Maybe it's the way you dropped it on them. Like some cats, they love the white man. So when you drop the truth on them, depending on how you want to do it, he may not receive anything because you said something about the white man first. But at the end of the day, you got to remember, like the scripture says, If they don't hear you or they didn't hear Christ, it's because they don't want to hear the Father. They don't want to hear the Most High. So if you got family members and loved ones that don't want to hear the truth, that's because they don't want to hear the Most High. That's why they don't want to hear the truth. If you love the Most High, you're going to love the truth. It's straight and simple. If you hate the Most High, you're going to hate the truth. That's regardless of what you're saying to them. Now, if you skillful and masterful, you won't. The scriptures say you won't offend at all. You'll be able to drop the truth on them, and they won't even be offended because the way you said it, the way you dropped it so masterfully. The scriptures talk about how good is a word spoken in due season. It's like a golden apple. I'm paraphrasing. How good is it when a word is spoken in due season, the right word? But also, it's like a joint out of place if you speaking out of place. So you don't want to be speaking out of place either. Sometimes it's better to just close the mouth. Don't say nothing about the truth. This ain't the time for that. The time we know for sure to drop that truth the right way when you trained in the UPK is at camp. That's why camp is so important. Because we got to drop that truth at camp. That's why it's important for brothers to come up in this truth so we can be speaking. We can be out on them streets. Raising up the 12 tribes of Israel. That's how you raise them up. By speaking. By being at camp. That's how you're going to raise up the 12 tribes of Israel. One thing I love to see is when we at camp dropping the truth and there's a brother in the crowd who you know is feeling the truth. Or he comes there and he's ready to listen. Like he may have a notebook, pad, a pencil, dressed in all black. He just come just to listen because he know what's going to go down at this camp. He knows the truth of the Lord is coming out. He just listening, biding his time, learning. And that brother eventually comes into truth. That's what I love to see. I love to see Israel put on his strength. Put on your strength, Israel. To stand up against this devil and this oppressor. That's what I love to see. I hate seeing brothers weak and wasting time. Wasting the energy. Running in circles. You ain't serving the Most High, you running in circles. Most High the only one that's going to take an account of your labors. Kwashab Banya Howda asked, how do you deal with a jealous rib that tells you if you get another rib, she will leave? There's multiple ways you can deal with that. You could slow walk it, right? Let me show you. Let me tell you. You could slow walk it. This is how you slow walk it. You got a rib who's always complaining and bitching about the possibility of another rib, or if you get another rib, I'm leaving. What you do is, that's how you slow walk it. You bring it up in a joke. say she looking at your phone trying to see who you texting. Tell her, shoot, I got about 20 wives out there trying to get with me. All of them trying to court me. She following you in the bathroom. Shoot, what you following me in the bathroom for? I got about 4 wives in the bathroom waiting on me. I got my models in Paris waiting on me. They trying, what I'm saying, party with a brother, get down, become my wife and stuff. I got some models on deck. You bring it out like that on her in a joking fashion, but very serious. It's for real. That's how you do it. That's how you doing. Shit, you already know all these women won't be with me. There ain't shit I can do about it. You know what I'm saying? Shit, that's how you talk that shit. You talk that shit up, break down the barrier and stigma that she have of hearing about this shit, because this shit like a trigger. You see what I'm saying? But she can't be triggered off of something that's kind of, it could be could you make it if it's outrageous, especially sounding, it's hard for her to trigger the same off of it. Because how does she trigger now? Does she trigger take it seriously? Does this nigga really have model bitches that's trying to fuck with him in Paris? This nigga really got 4 wives in the bathroom? I can't compute. Do I take that seriously, or do I laugh about it, or do I shrug it off? You gonna see that motherfucker gonna be confused. She talk about, I'll leave you if you had another wife. You be like, shit, you should already leave then. I already got about 10 wives. I got about 6 of them that's trying to get with me right now. 2 of them is in the bathroom waiting on me. So you might as well leave now. Now, if she leave off of that, she ain't gonna leave. You see what I'm saying? Because if she was really gonna leave you, she would have already left you. And if she really gonna leave you, she was gonna leave you. There ain't shit you gonna be able to do about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't listen to that threat shit. Tell her go. Leave. Walk out the door. If I get another wife, I got 10 wives. 6 of them is models. The modeling agency mad at me because I keep taking up their time. We going out partying all the time. But you at work, I be partying with the models. She tell her shit. You should already leave me then. That's how you deal with that. You know what I'm saying? It's another good question. That was a good question though. Naala Bath God asks, Shalom, Yahushua Taba Shim Yahushai. Salaki, I have a question. What is the best way to try to effectively communicate with your spouse after an argument? She's trying to be specific. He said the best way to effectively communicate with your spouse after an argument. Captain Zaryak, he like a genius. There's a couple brothers in the truth that to me are like geniuses that I meet. Captain Zaryak's one of them. General Muhammad, of course. Commander Yohana, of course. Almost all the men over me. Officer Quinayala, he tuning in to me. He like a genius. He do very intelligent shit. Like, he's a beast on shit. Captain Zaryak, he said he wrote the book. He said he gonna make a love book or a relationship book. And all the pages is gonna say, shh, shh. You're gonna go to the next page. All pages gonna be full with shh, shh. All the pages. Sometimes the best way to communicate after an argument is non-verbally. Shut up. Be quiet. Shush. Shut up. Just be quiet. Shut up. Be quiet. Let nigga think. Let nigga relax. Let nigga decompress. Shut up. That is always the best, most effective way to communicate with your spouse after an argument. Is be quiet. Just shut up. Give him the silent treatment for 2 days straight. until he asks you, "Hey, baby, what's up? You ain't gonna talk?" And tell him, "Nah, I ain't got nothing to talk about." Go ahead, make him something to eat, pleasure him, massage him, do all that, and just don't say shit. That's an effective way to communicate. I know most women think, well, oh yeah, well, you need to yell at him and get in his face and push him and annoy him and scream and do all that, girl. That's how you gonna communicate. Then he don't hear you if you ain't screaming. Shut up. Do not do that. That's the worst thing to do. Israelite culture, the scripture says, a silent and loving woman is without price. I'm paraphrasing. Okay? A silent and loving woman. That is valuable. That is precious. That is like a scripture said, without price. So if you can be quiet and loving at the same time, ain't no amount of money that can pay for that. Ain't no amount of money that can replace that. In Israelite culture, the woman the scripture said, Sarah called Abraham Lord. She said, "Hey, my shalom, my Lord," which is like my king, my head, my master, my teacher, my Adawan. She called him that. Do you think you ever go to school and went to college and start yelling and arguing with the teacher? What's the best way to communicate with your college professor? Shut up and listen and learn. That's how you want to do it. Okay? That's how you want to do it. All right? That's the best way to effectively communicate. Just be silent and loving. Let me get that scripture real quick, see if I can find it. Just so you can have that in your repertoire. Shout out to Captain Gadalhar, California. He's the master of that scripture. You ever see him with his wife? She's not saying nothing out of turn. Ecclesiastes 26:14. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. Like, you want to be listening to instruction after an argument. You want to be starting to listen. You want to change the tune from arguing to listening and learning and getting your mind instructed from that man. All right. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord. That's what you want. You want to be silent and loving. All right. Then there's another part of scripture. The grace of a wife delighteth her husband. What's your grace? Your grace. You know what I mean? Your elegance. You know what I mean? All of that coming into play, like your forgiving, your loving, your caringness. You understand? Your understanding. Your compassion. And her discretion will fatten his bones. Like, you discreet about shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you may feel a certain way which you want to blow up and do this and tear something up and this and that. Don't do that. Do the exact opposite. Be discreet about your shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't be trying to be so emotional all the time. Be discreet about your emotions. Cover them up. Don't show them all the time. All right? You bring your husband peace that way. Brother Marquise asks, Shalom Cap, how should I deal with parents' disagreement about me being in the truth? Okay. There's some things about that. First of all, that's kind of sound like a young question, like you may be young as, like, coming out of high school or something. Okay? Your parents agreeing or disagreeing with the truth should have nothing to do with your life. You a grown man. If you are a grown man, you may still be a child. Now, if you a child and you living in your parents' household, you 12 years old, then hey, what I mean, you gotta respect your parents a little bit, but you can't let them stop you from serving the Most High. You can't let them make you eat pork. You can't have them make you do certain things, but certain things you gotta abide by their rules. As far as you can't leave out at night or something like that. But if you're not 12 years old, if a grown man, then you gotta behave like a man. The mere fact that you care about their disagreement of the truth lets you know that's let your parents know that you're not your own man yet. That letting them know that. If you always seeking their approval, then you're not a man. You shouldn't just only seek your parents' approval as far as with your decisions, because if if you a grown man, then it's nothing. It's not connected anymore. That's why the scripture said, "Man will leave his father and mother and cleave unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh." Like you got to leave under your father and mother. You can't just be under them. Like them 30-year-old virgins who live in their mama's house. Like that's not a man. You ain't behaving like a man if you behaving like a mama's boy. We don't raise no mama's boys in the truth in the Israelite school UPK. In Israelite culture, men are required to be men. And women know that. Women don't try to take their manhood from their son and keep their son a baby. They do that in this kingdom because women are scared for their sons. They're scared for your decisions. They scared that you're going to come to the truth. You're going to go on the street corners. You're going to get killed like Malcolm X. You're going to get killed like Martin Luther King. So they scared for you to be, revolutionary and be believing in the truth and to be against the white man in any type of way. They scared for that because they don't want to see you killed. They don't want to see you killed like Nat Turner or Toussaint Louverture. They don't want to see you killed. But what ends up happening is you don't get killed, and the people around you didn't come into the truth. They're the ones who die. So the choice is yours. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, a man ain't gonna be held down by, his ain't gonna be no mama's boy. And you want to strive to not be a mama's boy as well. I think the Most High that when I was younger, my teenage years, I was shipped away where I didn't live with my mom anymore from like 16 going into 17 and up. My mom lived in a whole nother city in a whole nother state. 16 and up, I was able to mature at a better rate because of that. Because I wasn't always leaning on mama. Mama always usually always got your back no matter what you did right or wrong. Mama always wants you to be safe and don't go through nothing hard and don't go through nothing trying and don't want nothing for you to you ain't got to be tough. No, now when it comes to playing sports or something, then your mama all in there. Yeah, hit them, tackle them, jump them, run. Yeah, because that's the oppressor. The white man sanctioned that. But something that ain't sanctioned by the oppressor, that scares her. She worried about that. She ain't worried about you running around up on the field getting your head knocked off in football. Maybe she is, or maybe she ain't. But when it comes to this truth, you're gonna have to put on the risk as a man. So it depends. If you still living with your parents, or you living out on your own, or you paying your own bills. If you need help with your bills, come to the UPK. If you get hard times, report to your camp leader that you're having trouble with paying some bills or something. Don't always run to your mama and daddy first. Run to the truth, especially if they're against the truth. But it may make the truth look weak If you run into them, but you with the youth, they're gonna be like, oh, why don't you ask them Hebrew Israelites for help? That's gonna make the truth look weak. Don't do that. It depends what type of parents you got. If you got the parents that's gonna be like that and think like that, don't ask them for nothing. Scripture says a beggar's life is not, is, I'm paraphrasing, is hardly worth a life. It's hardly worth living if you got to beg. So get with the UPK, you know what I mean? Just depending on how old you are. How old are you, if you don't mind, Brother Marquise? That makes a difference too. But for the most part, you gotta stand strong in the truth regardless. Now, what you can do is if you already didn't had it out with your parents and you dropped kind of what you thought and what you believed, nine times out of ten, they might have looked it up to see more about it. And they know more about it. So you ain't gotta, all you gotta do now is walk the walk. You talk the talk already. Now you gotta walk the walk. You can't show up at Christmas. You can't show up at Thanksgiving. You can't show up at July 4th barbecue. You can't show up at the birthday parties. You can't show up. That's how you show. That's how you walk the walk. You're talking the talk, but you ain't walking the walk until you start shunning the world and you stop doing worldly things and you become fully immersed in the truth. Once you're giving your entire life over to the truth and to the Most High, to the UPK, you still playing games. You gotta give your entire life over. Scripture says you ain't even worthy if you take to the plow and look back. So you can't even look back. Don't even worry about what your parents. Now you got your whole journey in life now should be proving your parents wrong. Your whole journey in life now should be proving that the UPK has the truth. It's the home of the truth. That our people gonna be fixed. That we the children of Israel. That should be your whole purpose in life now. Their approval means absolute this on the grand scheme of things when it comes to building up our people and building up our nation. We talking about building it up for future generations to come, hundreds of thousands of generations to come, till they can have the truth and we can be built up as a people. We only worried about a few people's opinion. We ain't gonna get no fucking where. We ain't gonna get nowhere. You gotta go all out for the Most High. You gotta go all the way in for the Most High. You gotta give your whole. The scriptures say, love the Lord thy God with all thy might, with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. Can't be worried about nothing else. Can't be worried about your parents, if they agree with it or not, if they think it's a good idea, and if they think Jesus is a white boy. They don't think Jesus is black. They think the Bible is foolish. It's a whole bunch of fake fairy tales, or they whatever. Or they think everybody in the Bible is Caucasian. We can't go no 100 more years like that. We got to change the course of history. We got to change the annals of time. We can't slow down now. So you got to go all the way in. It's either now or never. We ain't got much time left till this kingdom about to fall. Until Christ gonna return. Ain't much time left till the whole thing over with. It's time to get right now. Get in the Israelite School UPK now. Start paying your tithes now. 10% of all money you earn, go to the men of the Lord. Go to isubk.com. You got paid today? Pay your tithes right now. Don't wait. Pay it now. So a little bit of time left. It's time to wake up. High time to wake up out of sleep. With that said, this is Take Ground Radio. Take Ground breakdowns and matrix sessions. You know how we do under Command Jan Hana, 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Go to isubk.com for more info to learn more. It's only a little bit of time left. It's time to get right with the Most High now. When them chariots come, them 200 million angels come, you gonna be wishing you did. When the next plague or whatever comes, you're gonna be wishing you did. You're gonna be wishing you was paying your tithes. You're gonna be wishing you was 10 toes down into the UPK, into the truth, home of the truth. Don't be wishing. Don't be wishing at the last moment, at the last Trump, trying to get in, trying to change your life. Do that shit now. All right. And with that said, shalom.
Let me take out. Won't fast break round. Won't ready stand down. Young nigga preach. Bury me a motherfucking priest. Yeah. The word we teach from the west to the south to the north to the east. Yeah. Got all my eyes with me. Posted your more echo peace. Sipping the stronger with these. Soldiers, we out in the streets. Young nigga preach. Bury me a motherfucking priest. Yeah.